I usually don't make videos about helldivers in English like this, but with the things that have happened recently surrounding game balancing and the divide of the community, I feel like I need to say something about it. Now you're probably wondering, who am I to say anything about helldivers 2, so I'll do a little bit of an introduction myself. My gamertag is M16A1 Gaming. I sometimes make audio mods for helldivers 2 or make guides targeting a Chinese speaking audience. I currently have over 788 hours of playtime on Steam. And I also, alongside with Invisible, Functioning Cyber, and Techno Muffin, are the current world record holder of the most Leviathans killed in a single mission. I hope this information makes my word mean some weight, and hopefully you can be interested to what I have to say. Because I do have an idea on how the devs can get the grunt fantasy that they want, while the players don't suffer at the same time. Can you believe that? It is interesting to me that the game balancing of the game managed to get a reflection of the real-life economy issues and political issues at the same time. We have players demanding better weapons, but the devs keeps on buffing weapons and the enemies at the same time, causing both numbers to increase but nothing much actually changed, which is, that's how inflation works. And on the other hand, we have divers that can be separated as pro-nerf and pro-buff, and, just like the counterpart of pro-life or pro-choice or whatever, they also call each other names, but instead of libtards and chuds or whatever, we have glaze divers and cry divers, and also different figures for each side as well. Like on the pro-nerf side, we have Commissar Kai, and I actually don't know who else would be kinda on that spectrum. No disrespect though, like really. And meanwhile, on the other hand, on the pro-buff side, we have Thick Filet,噢Joe, etc. And while all of this is happening, the devs seems they feel disconnected to the player base and are going to their own ways in balancing. So, with all these happening at the same time, we're seeing the pro-buff divers that is had enough and are actively quitting the game. And meanwhile, Commissar Kai gets rage baited by Joe Biden. I did not make that up. That happened on Thick Filet stream. And me personally have been hanging around between both sides of the community, and I've noticed, just like real life, both sides are usually more hostile to each other to some degree. One simple scroll on Reddit and click on any post that's related to weapon balancing, and you can actually just see divers in the comment section arguing if some balance changes are good or just straight up ass. And not trying to understand where they're coming from, or just lost the plot in the process, for the sake of whatever side that they're on. The message to both sides of the helldivers here, we need to calm down when it comes to explaining our reasoning of why we think a certain balance change is good or bad. However, most of the divers just don't do that or even try to debate. They're just saying that, oh, you're a glazer, oh, you're a cry diver, you guys are just whining or something. And a very important thing I would say is, you can't only have one side trying to communicate. Both sides need to be willing to communicate, or otherwise this communication is just not gonna work. We just stay in our bias and continue to treat each other like enemies or just dissidents, And it has gone so bad, right? The whole game balancing thing is to a point where some divers, Delta Grig, for example, that's I'm pretty sure there's more than just him. They are calling to fire the entire balancing team and replace it with other people, because they are, technically speaking, directly responsible for the amount of players that have been lost during this entire period of nerfing stuff. And the players also feel invisible to the devs, with no one in Arrowhead seems to hear a word they say. And as the talking goes, it really feels like just a one-way show, because the game isn't just how the devs imagine it now. But I think there's actually one way to solve all this problem. There is that one way that the devs can make peak grunt fantasy experience that they want, while the players get to enjoy Helldivers 2 as how they see Helldivers 2 is, as a friend swap horde shooter. And the answer to that is a whole separated game mode, or just a new game. And instead of playing as Helldivers, you play as Sieve Troopers. If I am a dev that made Helldivers 2 and wanted it to be a grunt fantasy, I would look at how it is now and say, "Aw shit, we fucked up. We gotta go bald." The devs themselves tried to make a sick haircut called grunt fantasy, but they ended up making decisions and design changes that makes grunt fantasy no longer viable. The devs even said it themselves. They originally was gonna make helldivers use laser pointers for a full-on militant experience to call down stratagems, but they ended up going back to a more arcadey stratagem balls to maintain the helldivers identity. Nothing wrong with that, but just saying, is this kind of decision already makes your grunt fantasy unviable. Sieve soldiers, on the other hand, is an exception because they are perfect for grunt fantasy as they literally are grunts. Their body isn't modified like helldivers and cannot rely on stims to heal. They don't have super destroyers raining down hell on the ground as well. They have a very limited arsenal, but there's a lot of them. That is what you define as grunts. Because the one thing that's good about grunts is the fact that there's a lot of them. And instead of 4 elite well-trained soldiers, they win by having a large amount. Helldivers are way more trained with better physique, so it makes more sense that a helldiver can aim way better than a sieve soldiers. The helldivers will have less sway than sieve soldiers because they are more familiar with weapons. They know how to stabilize their aim more than sieve soldiers. Because the sieve soldiers are in fact not trained professionals. It might even be their first day to actually have a firearm outside in the battlefield. So it actually makes sense if you have a shitload of sway, because you don't even have the physique to begin with. By making a separate game mode, if you want to enjoy a grunt fantasy, you can just go to the sieve game mode and enjoy grunt fantasy as the devs intended. And if you are here for what Helldivers 2 accidentally became, you can just continue playing normally. So the players, as you can see, will now be happy because if you want to grunt, because they could just go to the sieve mode if they actually wanted to play grunt fantasy, and the devs can just fully on doubling down on the grunt fantasy only exclusive to the game mode. I love Helldivers 2 from the bottom of my heart. It will always be one of my favorite horde shooters, but the devs seems to not understand how it feels for us, the players. So here's a very shitty edit that I made to hopefully express how it feels to play Helldivers 2. Hasta barista, baby. Oh yeah! Woohoo! Just keep hitting it, keep hitting it. Oh, what the fuck? What is this? Oh yes, I stick it. Yes, I stuck it on it. You're gonna die, boy.
Why?
That'll be fine.
Yeah, we're done. Mostly.
No!
You. That. Oh, that's something. Probably. Yeah, we'll see it anyway. How did I miss?
Oh yes, this is it, this is it, this is it. Yes, I got it, I got it!
Can you stop trying to violate me, piece of shit? No, no.
Yes, I killed it! We have committed.
Don't tell the story to your family.
Oh my god! Good kill.
Minus. Another one.
Ghost Rider. Good kill. What the fuck? Okay, that was weird. There we go. Oh yeah. There we go. Now that's smooth.
Nope.
Yay! Oh yeah, that was cool as fuck.
If I'm not stupid, I will kill the detector tower with one 500.
Bro! Come on, bro! Oh yes, finally!
What the baby says when you play peekaboo.
But, you know, technically speaking.
Next try.
Woo.
Larry, southeast, real close. 2 times.
I got one down.
And it's gonna be like, and then you're gonna be like, ah!
Oh, midair!
Fish it!
Yahoo!
Just don't get on it if for some reason.
Obviously, I'll make.
好强哦！
Come on!
Yeah, I was gonna actually just say as the railgun does have a safe.
Come on!
No, see. They
The fuck up.
Freedom!
Did you survive?
I lived.
Nice.
I have your recoil last. If you come back to me, I'll give it back.
We're done. Oh, that was fast.
Yep.